Today on Hacking Hollywood, we're going to talk about why wedding videography is so expensive. Hey guys, welcome to Hacking Hollywood, where we dissect and take apart the Hollywood techniques and apply it to small budget productions. Today we're talking about wedding videos and why they're priced the way they are. Now this kind of ties into a bigger mentality of why does filmmaking and entertainment cost so much? Why do people charge so much? I'm going to try my best to break that down and explain why it costs what it costs. The first thing to know is that when you hire a videographer, you're not just paying for their time right then and there, their camera, their equipment, you're also paying for their experience. And what I mean is a lot of the videographers went to film school or have done videos before, hopefully, and that's why they charge what they charge. They have hundreds, if not thousands of videos that they've worked on in the past, and all that stuff is cumulative. It all adds up and means something. The more experience somebody has, generally, the better they're gonna be at their job. When somebody quotes you $4,000, $5,000, and you have somebody else quoting you $700, $1,000 for the same project, the difference there is gonna ultimately be experience. Are you gonna trust somebody who's done the job 100, 300, 500 times before? Or are you going to give the new guy who hasn't done this very often or has done it a couple times a shot? And that's the risk you take with saving money and hiring a less experienced person. It's just like a plumber or an electrician or somebody who works on cars. Same concept applies. Do you want somebody who's got a lot of experience to do it, or do you want somebody who's green and new, doesn't have their method down quite yet? Malcolm Gladwell has this awesome 10,000 hour theory. I did a short little mini doc on the vocal department of my college a number of years ago, and I discovered something that rings pretty true. His theory was if somebody dedicates 10,000 hours of their time, that's when they cross the threshold of being an expert at what they do. Ultimately, for me, a simpler way of putting it is the more experience you have, the better you're going to be at what you do. That kind of adds to what I've already said before, but it's very true. Another thing is you see the videographer for maybe 7 or 10 hours that day on the day, but ultimately you're paying for 40 or 60 hours worth of work in total over a week or 2 weeks worth of time for this person. Every single moment they shoot on camera, they're gonna have to go back and edit it and trim it down and finesse it into that final product which everybody loves. So it takes time for them to do those things. And it's not just the 10 hours that you see on the wedding day of them shooting. It's all the post-production that goes with it. You're also paying for the gear that this person brings and the experience they have with it. Yeah, you might have a cousin or a friend or somebody that has a nice DSLR camera, but how many times have they used that camera? How well do they know the functions and the buttons? When you're in the middle of your ceremony or in the middle of a reception, you only have one kiss. You only have one moment to get that perfect shot. And if you know your gear, they're gonna get it real quick. And if they don't, you're gonna miss it. I've heard all sorts of horror stories about videographers and photographers missing that key moment. And it's just heartbreaking because somebody decided to cut the corner and decided to try to save a couple thousand bucks on a videographer or a photographer, and the moment gets missed. That can be really scary, especially when that moment is remembered for years and years and years to come. So in summary, with a videographer or photographer, you're not just paying for the 10 hours that you see on the wedding day. There's post-production that's involved. There's tons of gear that they're familiar with. And finally, you're paying them for their experience. Not just the time that they dedicate to your project, but the years and years of experience and the trial and error that they've already gone through to get to the level of expertise they are when they shoot your wedding. Hey, if you got something out of Hacking Hollywood, please like or subscribe, share this video with a friend. Thanks for watching.